is. So now we got to keep talking about like Kraken drives and stuff.
Fine.
Right? Yeah.
It's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the nuclear bombs should flatten the trees in KSP2.
I think so. Yeah, totally.
Wait, what?
I'm a big
Are
fan.
you streaming?
Yeah, we're totally streaming.
on Twitch?
Yeah, this is going to be live on Twitch, I think, right?
When I walked up to him at the airport.
So we're basically at a Mexican restaurant in Seattle with Dus and EJ and Jotwa and I don't know who you are. Space Pet, and my Linux Guru Gamer.
Is there Snark from the forum?
Snark, that's
Galileo of
Galileo Planet Pack and Shadow Zone and awesome person who is the better half of Jotwa. Like seriously, I can't even hear you. I don't know. We're just kind of drunkenly talking. So. Hey, I just hope that you have his laugh as well. Yeah, like that's. I mean, I love him for his laugh as well, right? Like,
Oh, man.
I get that a lot. So I love you, Scott. No homo.
Unfortunately for you, he's taken.
Yeah, that's okay. But I mean, yeah, we spent the day talking about Kerbal Space Program too, right?
Yeah, pointed at you. Like, I'm not
Pointed
saying
at me.
that.
It's like I don't know. I'm just like, this is hard. I'm pointing at me.
Isn't it weird?
This is weird.
Your arm is gonna get tired too.
My arm's gonna
I'll
get-
hold it. I'll hold it for a while. if you
Okay,
want
you'll
to.
hold it for a while.
Yeah.
So we have beer to kind of lubricate the session. We went to the Museum of Flight and saw the real Apollo 11 capsule. We saw an F1 engine. But we spent a lot of time with Star Theory talking about Kerbal Space Program 2. And as you can imagine, we had a lot of ideas, right?
There's a couple ideas.
Listen, we tried to play the trailer and give commentary based on the trailer. And it took us 15 minutes to get through the first minute.
Like a few
and 15
seconds, actually.
seconds.
Yeah.
Figured out that wasn't going to work.
And then we're like, we're gonna break for lunch and finish this off, and we never finished it off.
Yeah, we just
Right.
left it paused up in front of us. Like,
Right, we are not gonna finish this trailer. It will take forever.
I'm logged in around.
What was confirmed is the engine that I saw that I thought might be a Vasimir engine, a variable specific impulse magneto.
It's like a partial Vasimir.
rocket. Yeah, it's not. It's officially a magnetic nozzle for a cesium-doped metallic hydrogen engine. Like
A cesium-doped metallic hydrogen.
and that is the high-tech version of the metallic hydrogen engine. So yeah, we watched some gameplay, and we're not allowed to show you any of that gameplay because they didn't give us it, and they said you can't record it
Until Friday.
Oh, Friday.
On Friday, we will be able to get some that they're showing at PAX.
Oh, right.
Yes.
And they'll give us actual hard copies.
Yes, there's. I don't know if they're giving us copies, but they are showing that gameplay footage at PAX this
So we just
Friday.
need to patch into their hidden, and that'll be us, right?
Sneak in there with a body cam or something.
So I'll be there on Friday at PAX, and I will be talking to the guys. And I'm going to say, I was very skeptical. I am less skeptical because it's very clear that the people involved in this, the people behind this, are very excited. They have a lot of hours in Kerbal Space.
They have almost as many Kerbal knickknacks as I have.
Yes.
They have a lot of Kerbal knickknacks around
Yes,
their
and
office.
trust people with lots of Kerbal knickknacks.
There are some like Kerbal super fans.
I'm gonna hold this
working
like
on
this
it.
because it's more,
Yeah,
it's
that's
less
fine.
tiring.
Like the tripod, like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
bipod there.
and also it leaves my hand free to have a drink.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was your hand free to have a drink. No.
Oh my god, it was a long day.
So if you're just joining us, you're wondering what's going on. We're out here. Scott's holding the camera on the other side. I'm Das. We got EJ. We got a bunch of Kerbal fans out here. And Private Division flew us out to hang out with what's it? Rocket Lab. It's not Rocket Lab.
Star Theory.
Star Theory. I almost said Rocket Lab, and then I actually said Rocket Lab. With Star Theory at their office.
And we got to talk.
We got to talk. It was like a roundtable thing where they were showing us assets that hadn't been released and some actual gameplay footage and modding tools and all sorts of stuff. And then we sat there and hit them with both barrels, asking them questions. And we were there from what, like 10:30?
It was at like 11 until
11 till
2:30.
Yeah, and our food's here as
3.5
well.
hours.
So hang on for a second. Whoa! Oh my gosh! Oh, it's fine.
What kind of taco? I'm looking at tacos. No? Who's asking for burritos? Who got burritos?
Burritos, tacos, what type?
The burritos are here.
Yes. You're gonna take a back seat for a second.
Yeah, sorry, we're having food. Like, we're very excited, as you can tell. So,
All right. Scott, help me out. What's your Twitch channel?
SZYZYG. Or if you're British, SZYZYG.
ZYG. SCYZYG.
Yes.
All right. I know it was like something like that.
Yeah,
I didn't know
it's
exactly.
terrible because you can't pronounce it.
Yeah.
That's right, sound Searchlight. So I can't read chat, by the way, if anybody's saying anything useful to me.
Okay, I'll log into your chat, dude.
Okay, that's cool.
I'll jump in there too.
What is pork burrito?
What kind of pork? I mean, I don't get burrito. So yeah, we got to see a lot of stuff, and we got to see that first of all, modding is very, very much core to the concept, right? There's a lot of modability built into their APIs. A lot of stuff exported. The tacos.
No pico is there.
Wait, which one's which? I get two.
One way to find out. Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, we got to see some like actual scripting, running, modding the environment, spawning solar system, spawning spacecraft.
Yeah.
That was great. There were a lot of questions that didn't get answered on colonies and things like that. A lot of things that were like
Work in progress.
these are in the game,
Yeah.
but we're not committing to this, that, or the other thing. As I said, we found out that there are a number of new high-tech drives in the game that are going to be in there.
And therefore resources we're going to have to gather.
And resources
Like
that are
metallic hydrogen.
Like, well, I don't know if you gather. Well, I don't know. Maybe you do try to gather that from the core of Joule.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. Maybe you have to make it. Like you
I
gather
don't-
hydrogen and you
And
make
you
it.
squish it down so it becomes metallic. It would be pretty crazy. You can direct questions to us.
Yeah, I got chat up on the phone right here. So if
Wow,
you got
this
questions,
guy's a
ask
pro.
me.
Fridge upstairs has 7 different kinds of house mates also. Grab whatever you want.
Cool, man. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. This is
All
good.
right.
I'm drinking beer, by the way.
No, this is not ultra hardcore career right now.
This is totally ultra hardcore career, right?
Hey, what's up, Silent? How are you doing? Long time
Hey,
no
oh,
see.
he's
Silent Searchlight is in there.
He's an awesome. He turns up all the time, and I very much appreciate his comments.
Excellent. HE3, Deutonium, Tritium, they didn't say anything else. They said metallic hydrogen that was doped with cesium.
Yeah,
That's
it's
the
doped
only
with
thing they
cesium,
gave us.
right?
Yeah.
So it's a low-tech
I raised
engine,
children to adulthood, so.
a low-tech metallic hydrogen engine where they basically run a shit ton of water through the cooling. It's like 10 times the amount of water to hydrogen.
Yeah.
Places that you didn't
So we're also going to have to gather water. Because water will be a fuel. I'm telling you. I don't know.
I wouldn't have a problem with detailed like resource gathering.
Yeah. It's just we're sort of extrapolating, so it's important for us to say, here's the difference between what we're guessing and what they actually told
Right.
us.
One of my favorite comments actually was when they showed up the scatterer. The ground scatter was way more impressive than the stock game.
It was so good.
Right, and they said basically that the ground scatter is going to be collidable, so you can actually crash into all those rocks. And that's of course cool because if you're Neil Armstrong, you had to avoid those rocks. And apparently, a number of people that saw this were like, "Oh, that's going to make the game harder." I don't like that,
'Cause I
and we
can't
were all
land
like,
here.
"This is awesome!
Yeah.
We are nerds. We like to do this."
As you with Saltwater Monstrosity, we didn't see anything about that, Mikulu. Are we in Bellevue? No, we're in Seattle right now.
Yeah, we went to Bellevue, but we came back to Seattle.
Multi-body gravity simulation, it sounds like no.
Sounds like no, yeah.
no in-body. But
Yeah.
they completely rewrote the engine of the simulations, hopefully using more efficient methods. We don't know for sure.
I'm going to say things look faster, but we don't know how much, whether that was being automated or whether they hand welded all the parts or something.
Game being in Unity, it's going to be
It's
the
still
latest
Unity.
version of Unity.
Latest version of Unity, yep.
Yeah.
PQS has been completely gutted and replaced by PQS Plus. PQSB.
It's called. Yeah.
So, there was some discussion about inclination of, obliquity of the planet's
Yep.
rotational axes, and we were all very much in favor of that, I think.
Yep. Other Daves, the binary planets. Scott knows about the binary planets.
Yeah, I'm not sure the binary planet will make it into the final version based on what I heard. But I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful still.
Yeah. Stuff from Making History and Breaking Ground be part of KSP2. They said they weren't confirming or denying exactly what was in KSP1 or DLC that would make it to the original launch of
Right.
KSP2.
And to be clear, they said that the Poodle version of the engine they had was forked before they redesigned the Poodle for
Right.
1.6,
So we had some
1.7.
old ugly poodles in there. Like,
Yeah, which I
instead
said
of the
should be.
doodles.
I said
A
they
new
should.
pretty version of the old ugly poodle.
It was a new pretty version though, and I said they should call it the Labradoodle. I thought it was it's a comical name, you know. So they literally forced KSP1.
No, it's just one asset.
They
took a copy of the
forced
engine car
assets
model.
about a year or something ago.
Okay. There are multiple solar systems. They actually showed us an interplanetary ship and made a comment about the interplanetary ship going to the other solar system.
Yep.
Interstellar.
Thank you. Interstellar.
Yeah.
Outside of normal time warp somehow. But they didn't really give us a lot of details on that.
Right. So I think to make anything like that work, it has to be able to accelerate for months at a time.
Yeah.
Right. It's not like
You can't sit
run up
there-
to speed and then. So I think this is definitely a case where they're redesigning their time warp system to allow low thrust engines or continuous thrust engines for a long time.
We asked about caves and underwater. They didn't say no to underwater. They did say that there wouldn't be any caves.
No negative space in this
Negative
terrain.
space, negative terrain. But we asked about different reasons to explore places, and there will be some new terrain features, but not specifically caves. We didn't ask specifically about underwater. We did make the point that a lot of us like making ships and stuff like that.
And the design they'd shown was making it hard, so
Yeah.
they sort of said, yeah, we'd like to give you a way to spawn rockets or vessels on the water.
Yep. So you can actually deploy a ship off the runway or something, or
Yeah.
have some way to get into the water, right? We were like, oh, just make a colony in the water.
They also showed us a redesigned North Pole, and it's not flat anymore, which makes it impossible to do speed records.
Yep.
So we're not sure if they're going to fix this, but we did say this would be a really cool thing to have a flat area.
One kind of meta point that I would make is it was very they were asking they were soliciting feedback. Right? They were
Another beer?
Yes, thank you.
Bring one, man. I need a drink.
I'm okay right now. I'm okay.
So they really cared what we thought. And so, for example, when one of us said, "But have you thought about this? Because what if you can't?" For example, when we said, "Hey, the new KSC layout, it looks gorgeous, but the old KSC, people can get to the water really easy, and some people like to bring boats. Is it going to be hard to get there?" And they went, "Oh." We started writing down notes.
Yeah.
And they were really, really paying attention when we said things. They were taking notes, and it was very clear from their attitudes they wanted to do the right thing. That doesn't mean that everything everybody says they're going to do,
Right.
Yeah.
but they listen to people.
So we brought up stuff like gimbaled SRBs with thrust vectoring.
And they were like, why does it,
They were like,
do those
what? Wait,
exist?
there's real SRBs that have thrust vectoring. We were like, yes, we need them in KSP so we don't have to fake our space shuttles. I
Like
asked them for the ability to lock solar panels. So solar panels are radiators,
Or
track the sun
radiators,
or
yeah.
anti-track the sun, right? And I was like, it would be great if we could lock that. And they're like, what? That seems easy. Why don't we do that? So no guarantee that's going to be in, but they were literally sitting there taking notes as we were telling them
Yeah.
what would be cool, what we use, what we don't use. It was really a fantastic trip.
Another interesting comment I remember was they said for the launch pads there was going to be 4 of them for multiplayer, so that you could have
Yes.
4 rockets launching at the same time. So you could do like Armageddon,
baby!
and have like 4 space shuttles launching, right?
Yep.
And then just need a spaceship.
Yeah.
That's right, because
excited about that.
Armageddon, best asteroid movie ever.
Yep.
Not for any
Don't excite
science
EJ
reason.
that much. EJ's okay. He's in good hands here, folks. Will the VOD for this be backed up? That's on Scott's channel, right? You can make clips and stuff.
I mean, it's gonna be on.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I'll back it up. I'll upload it
make
to
a
YouTube.
make a
I'll make
highlight
it
of
a.
it.
Yeah, I'll just stick it on YouTube
Yeah,
and make
yeah.
it secret. But it's okay. We're all drunk, so like, there's only so much that you can take from this that's real.
Yep. Yeah, Linux Guru Gamer is in the background.
Linux Guru Gamer, and we get Galileo back there.
Yeah, Wookie Goldberg. There are multiple launch pads at KSC. We saw
Yeah.
multiple launch pads, and I think they said 4 was the number,
4.
right?
And this is an important thing to realize. It wasn't just streamers and gamers, that they actually have modders here, right?
Really
Because
important.
they're very, very important to the KSP experience.
Yep. So
Right?
we got forum moderators. We got modders, Linux Guru Gamer, Galileo of the Planet Pack fave.
They described us.
We got Shadow Zone. So yeah, that's who was here at the thing today.
They described us as pillars of the community, but I like to point out that we are in fact struts of the community.
There was a collective groan.
Yes, we all
Auto struts or regular struts?
Yeah, right.
So, what? Anyone?
Yeah, Shadow Zone Epic, yeah.
Yeah, Shadow Zone's there. He's not Scott Manley.
Those of us who
He's like the
who
anti-Scott
actually
Manley.
see us, we're the auto struts.
Yeah, the auto strut.
Oh yeah, we never asked about autos. No, I was just saying you're here and you're not Scott Manley.
We're in Seattle, though.
Reason number 11 why I'm not Scott Manley, he sits right here.
He sits down there.
We are in the same room together.
Yes.
We didn't see any
It's true.
panels.
But you know what? We didn't shake hands. And you never know, we might explode because we're actually from a different time period. Right?
Deep fake.
Yeah.
But hey, if there's other questions, one of the coolest things that I liked, Planet Shine in the stock game.
Oh my god,
So
yeah.
the moonlight, based on the phase of the moon, lit up the launch pad when it was nighttime. The moon rose and all the shadows from the moon, and I was like, that's beautiful and fashionable.
But not, yeah, and we saw that from near Jewel. We had the green illumination, the green reflection, we had
Elite
rings.
dangerous rings.
Yes, we had rings and all that. Yeah. Oh, yeah, we actually. So the rings that we saw are not the same as the rings that we see in like the planet packs because as you flew through them, they actually had solid rocks rendered. Now it's not clear whether you can collide with those rocks just yet, but obviously people are interested now as soon as they saw that.
Yep.
Having said that, there's no guarantee this is in the final.
Yeah. Thank you. Dude, I gotta say, if you can collide with trees and rocks, why can't you imagine you wouldn't be able to collide with those in the rings?
With rocks in space. What's the difference between rocks on the ground and rocks in space?
I mean, it straight up looked like a elite dangerous ring mining area where you go in there and you mine the rings. That's what it looked like flying through the spacecraft. But it was cool.
Yeah.
Rock scattering density high? Oh my gosh, the ground scatter density?
They were saying this is a dense area. It was full of rocks, and we were like,
And
"That's
grass.
awesome!" Yeah, and grass, which you won't collide with.
Yeah.
But
And not like one little piece of grass,
No,
right?
it's like
it
one-
looked like grass. I was like, I want to take a screenshot here.
tufts of grass, not just green texture on
Yep,
the ground.
yep.
Like now, I want to see the grass wave and the wind, the descent engine. I mean, so here's the thing that you should get from this, right? Is that we went in there a bunch of excitable but ultimately skeptical Kerbal Space Program fans. And we've all come out with very positive thoughts about the whole thing.
There were tens of thousands of hours of KSP playtime in there.
Yeah.
Easily in that room, there were
Right.
tens of thousands of hours of KSP playtime.
Yeah, and I'm going to say right away, I mean, sure, they paid to fly us up here,
Yeah.
right? But I would have been excited either way. I mean, he drove here. He took a day off, right, from work or something. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you drove here. You didn't get flown out on their expense. So you're an honest judge. Or you come out of this better or worse?
How do you feel?
How do you feel about it? Do you feel better or worse after today?
About KSP too? I feel great.
Right. So you're the one that they didn't pay a bunch of money to fly you out and put you in a hotel, right?
They paid for my parking.
Oh, they pay for your parking. So I mean, he's obviously not totally unbiased if you could consider, but
Mr. Bund, we asked about wheel tracks and footprints. It's a game in development, no answer yet.
yeah, there's a lot of no answer yet, and there's a lot of
Yeah.
there was a lot of discussion where it's like I asked a very specific and pointed question, and they were like, "Oh, we can't talk." Yeah, and there was a lot of me describing a feature that I wish would be in there, like, "Oh, we can't talk." Oh, it's like, "Oh, it's so hard."
They were like
talk
about to
you.
explode because they wanted to tell us, but it wasn't time to tell us yet. Morning, brother Vicaro. Scott has the best fashion sense with shirts. It's a very nice shirt. It says fly safe.
It says flight. This is my daughter that did that. Fly safe.
Epic with some questions about fuels, actual like methane or kerosene. The only thing we heard was metallic hydrogen.
Yeah.
They didn't say any other fuel names, but if you're going to jump to metallic hydrogen,
I
don't
did
know.
hear a mention of plutonium, asking whether that's canon.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that means anything, to be honest.
Yeah. There were some art passes on pods. There
was art passes on everything. And a lot.
Orion drive is a thing.
Yep.
So that's using something that ain't LFO.
Yep. Yeah, that's the other way. It was a metallic hydrogen, dopacesium, and nuclear bombs. So they're making
Nuclear fucking weapons. I'm sorry, I can't.
lessons. Nuclear weapons. Can you do
Nuclear-
that? I can't do that.
Orion.
Nuclear weapons, yeah.
So they have one of those Orion drives, and they actually took off from their ground colony. They had like a moon colony, and they're like, oh, let's take off. And the rocket goes up off the pad, and then they start firing nuclear bombs down at the colony. I'm like,
Yeah, poor colony.
Very
and they made a crack of it. So they have like a 10-minute pitch thing that they're going to do at PAX, I guess. And we sort of nodded along. And
yeah.
No, I think he did a great job.
He did a
We'll
great
see it,
job. Yeah. If you're at PAX West, you have to stop by the KSP booth. They've been saying KSP, but it sounds like it's a KSP2 booth at PAX.
Yes. And by the way, don't they have to stop by on Friday for a certain panel? Mm-hmm. What's the panel? It's 3 o'clock, right?
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock on Friday, Scott and I are doing a Space Games panel. It's going to be about the use of realistic science in sci-fi games. So, are you inspired by this? Do you try to make it realistic? How do you walk the line between realism and gameplay? Scott's going to be there. Devs from Astroneer. We're going to be talking with Barotrauma. We've got Outer Wilds, which is Obsidian, also Private Division. And then we're sort of representing KSP/KSP2.
Yeah.
So that panel, I'm going to be trying to live stream that on my channel.
Oh,
too.
that's awesome.
I have the gear. PAX is not live streaming it, but
Well, I'm glad because I'll have to make sure I direct everyone to your stream.
That's 2 p.m. on Friday,
One thing
depending
we
on the
haven't
signal.
talked about, by the way, is all the Kerbal animations they showed us.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna say, like, for all the physics and aerodynamics and gravity and re-entry, the things that get a lot of people to stick around are simply the fact that there are these Kerbals screaming in the corner of the screen. Mm-hmm. Right,
Right.
and they have taken that and turned it up to 11.
Let me see. EJ and I will simulate it right quick.
Right,
Look.
okay.
All right, EJ and I. These are like new pod
it's
animations.
spinning out of
Ready?
control.
This is. Oh, can you hold it?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. These are new Kerbal pod animations. Like. Like the Kerbal's being thrown. Like when the rocket takes off, they actually go like.
They passed out.
Yeah,
pass
they
out
like
and
puke
throw
in
up.
their helmets and stuff like that. And apparently there were 3 different states of panic. One was just like looking around, and then there was like, I can fix this, and then the last one is just like jab, like.
Tell about the fingers.
Oh, they have fingers. Yeah.
That was the one thing I
Back this way. Thank you. Good demonstration.
Hey, wait.
I'm trying to scarf my burritos off.
I have a complaint. Kerbals have fingers now. And like, what the heck?
Yep.
Kerbals should have space mitts. Space mitts. Like, there's even an animation in the stock game where they're like, wait, I have fingers. Ah! So yeah, Kerbal fingers is now a thing.
We don't know anything about magneto-chargers. We didn't hear anything about new control.
Well, listen, we have the fake reaction wheels. Those are practically magneto-chargers, right?
I'm going to build an Orion Drive RCS system. Dock with Orion Drive only.
Dog with Orion Drive only.
3-axis Orion Drive.
Sounds like a challenge.
You can land on the moon with SRBs. I'm gonna dock with nuclear bombs.
I'm up for it.
Do that, man. It's the next iteration of the mainsail RCS. The 6-axis block of the mainsails.
Well, now that we have we have the shops to do it, right?
Yep. We didn't hear anything about life support. I see there Pythos. So we
yeah, we did ask about whether the
I
rotating
asked about life support,
and the
they were
rotating
neither confirmed nor denied.
Okay.
right, and the
We're
rotating
confirmed.
segments seen in the trailer, whether those were useful or required.
Yep. No confirmed
They were
or
like,
deny on that.
yeah, no comment.
Yep.
There was a bunch of no comments. It's like your radiation problems from sitting next to a giant nuclear weapon, or
Yep.
and they were like, no comment.
Space Bat logged in. Nice. What's up, Space Bat?
Oh, Space Matt.
on,
Wait,
everybody?
are you Space Matt?
I am.
That's so confusing.
There I am in chat. I'm
How
watching.
meta.
We did
questions
ask about.
coming.
We did ask about weather systems, and they said there's currently no plans for weather systems that
Right.
would affect
Dynamic
flight
weather.
dynamics. Yeah.
Inflatable systems, we definitely saw that on the colonies. They actually specifically said, oh, you'll just put your colony stuff down and it will inflate.
Yep. Suit ports. I don't. Do you know what Silent Searchlight asked about suit ports? I don't know what that means.
Oh, that's where you have like a backpack suit attached to the back of your rover and you climb in. Instead of going through an airlock, you climb
okay.
into the suit.
Okay, gotcha. Didn't
Which
ask
is a
anything
great
about
idea, assuming you want to run it,
Yeah,
1/3 atmosphere.
that. Okay, I gotcha.
It's like if you want Kerbal Space Program to simulate the 2 hours depressurization that you need for,
Someone Photoshop us hanging out together.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Galileo.
What
Anything
about
about-
built-in scripting? You guys want to say anything?
Well, we did sort of see. We don't know if how that's going to integrate with the final version, because the scripting we saw was largely a demonstration of a dev tool
Yeah.
to show that they were really interested in making sure that the software was exporting all the stuff needed.
It seems like their new code base is redesigned and well documented. I think is something they were sort of showing.
Well,
us
you know, that's what they think. Wait
what they
until the
think?
modders get a hand off it. Thankfully,
yeah.
we have some modders sitting over there, so, you know.
there are some improvements to it. Go ahead. Yeah.
The important thing is that they're saying that modding is a priority for them.
Yeah.
Right.
And they brought modders out here. Yeah.
They actually paid, it wasn't just lip service, they paid to fly people out. So, Bad News Baron. Oh, wait. No, he's not here. He left. Yeah, Bad News Baron was here, but he ain't right.
We've been spotted in the KSD forums.
So the Kerbal system is now 1 to 10 scale, so it's still the regular scale. All the existing planets are basically there, but they have been given a massive makeover. We saw a lot of renders of new planets with new ground scatter and everything. Oh, we get a camera taking. Smile, everyone! Yay! Okay, and we didn't flash.
That's okay.
2, 3, smile!
Now we're fine.
Okay, we're all good. I hope you guys smiled, otherwise I'm gonna
Wookie
find
Goldberg,
you.
it is Jotwa. That is the infamous Jotwa down there.
Jotwa! What's up? Yeah,
Right here.
he's my favorite Kerbal player.
Seriously, everybody's favorite Kerbal player.
He's so unassuming and awesome.
Can you port save? No.
Yeah, saves will not be ported.
Yeah.
Yeah, saves are probably completely incompatible.
They it seems like they took KSP and like
They
ground it down to
gutted
its base
it.
foundation. and
They
then
took
started
assets and built it again.
building- Yeah, they took like if KSP's a house, they stripped everything off down to the foundation, and then they're building back up on it again. It's cool because you still get the same. You still get the same feeling. It feels
Yeah.
like KSP.
It looks
Yeah.
like KSB.
It
but
looks
it's-
like KSP. Yeah.
heavily upgraded and a lot better.
User interface. Does anyone have any comments on the user interface?
Redid a bunch of the user interface.
It was
But we don't know if that's
complete refact. Well, so we've seen one user interface in the videos, and the one they showed us is different from the one in the videos. An evolution already.
Yeah.
And there was some comment about this thing makes it easier to see your orientation. I'm like, okay, I guess it might make it for other people, but
Yeah, so
I'm
does the
so
Netball. Like,
right. Well, I'm so used to it, so it's hard for me to judge. Right? I'm too close to it to judge.
yeah. Jet engines. We didn't ask anything about jet
We
engines.
did, I asked about closed cycle jet engines,
Yeah.
and they were just like, yeah. Maybe you should email us some of those ideas.
Yeah,
That was
no-
the point at which they were like, could you start emailing us some of these things?
No
Oh, yeah,
other.
we filled their lists up with suggestions.
Oh, yeah.
They were like
Like,
they were taking as many notes as we were.
Yeah, D Magic, don't worry about the Lewis scripting thing. They were using Lewis scripting to show us some examples, but they were very clear that the Lewis scripting was not the end all be all.
It wasn't even guaranteed to be in the final version.
That
but-
they were showing us some examples of how you could run a line of script and create a sun. And you could run a line of script and create a planet around the sun. You could run
And
a
you
line of
could
script
ru-
and change the inclination of that planet.
And you could create totally impossible star systems,
Yeah.
right? That was one of the
And that was
things.
an external tool that was running and talking to it through a
Yeah.
kind of
Right.
API or something.
Yep. So they were very clear about it not being, oh, Lewis scripting is the end all be all. They were just using that as a tool to show us these sort of hooks that were built into the new platform to manage things, right? You can create a craft, you can change trajectories of the craft, you can like change an RCS port on a craft. They actually said you could destroy a specific part of the craft via the script.
Oh yeah, you could break apart.
Yeah.
You could explode apart. Yeah. You could apply a force to the
Yep.
vessel, like artificial force.
Yep.
So, I mean, it seemed like there was a lot of options with that, but there's no guarantee that's going to be accessible like that in the final game, but I would obviously like that. I made
Yep.
it very clear that I wanted action replay, that I wanted, I wanted it to like save the physics state over time so you could replay, and they were sort of like, oh, we can't talk about that, but I'm smiling too much.
Right.
I think that was the exact words he said, so I can report that.
Yeah.
It seems like the game is in a very so like we said they're rebuilding, okay?
It's a very pre-alpha thing.
They got the first floor made of like a 4 or 5 story house. And
Let me say this.
stuff is. It seemed like stuff is coming in the pipe, but they couldn't be like super, into it. Go ahead, Doug.
There's a thing that slipped out, and they said that everything they told us we could talk about. They've been working on this for more than a year. Because one of the devs got up and said, oh yeah, I've only been around for about a year. I didn't even get here at the start of the KSP2 project. And so they've been working on KSP2 for more than a year, based on what somebody told us there. So this is not like they just started it 2 weeks ago or something and announced it. They've been working on it for a long time.
Right.
We did ask them about robotic parts. They said robotic parts aren't a thing like right now, but maybe in the future, something like that. The context of that means like when they say in the future, they're not talking like another DLC or something. It very much seemed like that's like down the road. That's part of the roadmap, but it's like the 5th or 6th floor of the building.
I mean, I think that the release of robotic parts perhaps has changed their perception on the importance of
robotic parts.
I asked
Because-
them point blank about what they have robotic parts, and their response was more of a kind of a no comment, like not necessarily everything. They don't know. I don't want to say that they said that it definitely would be in. They didn't say it wouldn't either, right? So that,
Right.
I think it's sort of the category of they're not making any promises yet.
Yeah. Closed or open beta, they didn't say anything about closed or open beta. We did ask if some modders might get access in advance so there could be some mods at release, and they're like, oh, that's not a bad idea, but no guarantees.
It sounded like we asked them about some kind of early access program for people. They said it sounded like that would be a useful thing, and they would love to be able to do that. But there's a lot of considerations around it, so they don't know the details of whether that can happen or what. So it's
Right, I mean,
and I don't blame them. This needs to develop.
I don't think
know.
they can make that commitment without Private Division actually being involved at some level.
Yeah.
Right? I think there's a lot of things that they are aware that they have they pitched this project to Private Division, right? Like, Private Division were looking for someone to do KSP2, and they were one of the companies that pitched it, and they clearly made it to, and they made the grade based on their experience with KSP.
Anybody want to handle multiplayer? What they said about multiplayer?
What did they say about multiplayer? Very little.
Yeah, it'll be there.
It was pretty clear.
Like, I wasn't even...
Multiplayer is still,
touch pads.
it's still under construction.
They wouldn't even be clear how they would handle the syncing issues that we have with the physics engine in Unity, right?
But they did say that single player Kerbal is DRM free.
Right.
They did say that.
You can
deal.
still just
You
copy
can
your
make
directory.
all your copies. Yeah.
Single player Kerbal's DRM free.
Yeah.
That was confirmed like clear as day.
Yep. Like
Also-
with both
also
Prime
no-
Division and
No network connection required for the single player,
Yeah.
and no microtransactions.
Anyone else need a drink?
I'm good.
Waiters here? Huh?
I'm totally good right now, man.
Okay. Sorry. I'm looking bad now.
We didn't ask about we didn't ask specifically about what version of Unity. Like they didn't say. It's
I'm presuming it's
18.2
the
or anything.
latest,
Yeah.
and I'm presuming it's 64
They
bits.
said the latest.
Yeah, they said the
Very
latest
beginning,
several
they said it's
times.
the latest version of Unity.
Yeah.
But yeah, once again, guys, single player is DRM free, not multiplayer.
Right.
Right. Multiplayer probably
for
will
the
have some sort of lobby and
authentication
connection
of the
authentication.
accounts.
Yeah.
There's got to be something if you're connecting to other computers.
Like-
I
No
guess.
Guinness is a Mexican restaurant.
It's a Mexican, I know.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. Man.
Honestly, I wouldn't trust any American restaurant to pour a Guinness properly. Yeah, I'm a Guinness elitist.
Yeah, we didn't ask about Linux. I'm trying to like speed around some questions. I don't want to miss y'all.
Okay.
Another question: do we know the textile density? No, there was no information on that.
It looked high. It looked like they did a lot of stuff with their textures. Physics, they did specifically mention physics a few times.
Right.
But it sounds like they have to do a lot of stuff on top of it to make it work sensibly.
They said some of the performance optimizations would be through like algorithmical things.
Right.
So they're making the code more efficient because the original code was sort of a mess and not very efficient.
very
And so when we asked, will it be multi-core? They're like, what does that even mean? There's like 1,000 different things that could mean.
I'm going to say that sounded like an excuse for a bunch of programmers saying, well, what does multicore really mean?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That's.
Yeah.
It seems like they
I think they're kind of limited by physics in some cases and what they're going to be.
they said they would offload physics though. It's not as physics intensive, and they're trying everything that they can to make it significantly more optimized. And guys, even if they can't put like, Josh, get out of the way.
DOS!
Even if they can't put
I'm trying.
I mean, think about it. Even if they can't put like threading. Even if they can't put in thread, no. Even if they can't put threading in the game, building the game from the ground up with much better implementation is going to help with optimization. It's going to really that really helps. It really helps building, good stable building at the bottom, so you can make better stuff up top.
Yeah. Silent Searchlight, we didn't ask anything about Alto designs or anything specific like that, like a scramjet or ramjet engine, did we?
We didn't actually. No, I sort of asked about jet engine alternatives, but we didn't. It was on the bus, and I'm not even sure I'm allowed to say what they said. I thought the bus at that point was us casually talking and being off.
Yeah.
Suffice to say that they did say email us about all your ideas, and I have acres, I have hectares, I have planets full of things that I think should be in there.
The fact that you now have like open channels of communication.
Well, I'm waiting for that email. As soon as I get that email, I will have.
That's really important.
I have to say, Scott, and say, everybody here.
Yeah.
They were like, we want to know.
They were literally jotting stuff down when we were sort of saying that.
I think they were kind of overwhelmed.
And that was a real scale thing, right? So one of the things that came up was, are we going to change the size of the Kerbal system? Are we going to give Kerb an axial tilt? And they said, tentatively no. The Kerbin system will stay the same because it's sort of like the easy mode for the game. But then when you move to another system, you'll get into ultra large planets. They said they tested ultra huge
Once you get
planets
to
and
another
axial
system, you
tilt.
have all the delta V, and you don't need to worry
I don't
about the
know.
axial tilt.
Yeah, I don't know. But they did say that they had tested it with some super massive planets in other systems that would be like sort of hard mode systems that you could travel to.
But I don't know how supermassive those actually were.
Yeah,
right?
they said, what specifically did they say? Do you remember the term they used?
No, they didn't. And honestly, Joule, it would have to be bigger than Joule for them to start seeing the single precision errors that I'm complaining about.
There wasn't much in the way of aerodynamic stuff, guys. It seems like planes aren't really implemented just yet.
And we didn't ask too
We
much
didn't
about
see
it.
anything about planes, to be honest.
Yeah, we did see a runway. There was a
We
runway
saw a
with
runway.
those
I
photos.
asked, and they said, "Oh yeah, you will be able to build a runway as part of your colonies."
Yep. Alpha Mensae, specifically, we asked about true shuttle SRBs, thrust vectoring, trail off,
And they were
all that
super
sort of stuff.
like, "Wow, this exists."
We gave them a quick.
They were
quick,
totally,
session.
yeah.
Yeah.
We gave it, I talked about strontium clathrate oxidizer, right?
Yep.
Wait, I love that stuff. No, sorry, it's not clathrate.
What'd you say?
Perchlorate, strontium perchlorate. Yes,
And aluminum. Oh, wait, aluminium.
Aluminium.
yes. That's the Kerbal version, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Has far too many.
We asked about clouds, but that's the whole clouds and weather conversation, whether they're volumetric clouds or not, that was sort of the game's in development, ask us later.
Yeah, guys, this wasn't them skirting questions.
Yeah.
Like,
We were
you can
asking.
tell that some of the stuff.
They just wanted to show us stuff, and we were just like, we are asking questions and telling you how to make your game. Listen to us, we are important.
As like an investigative reporter sort of MO, I will tell you that there were two different answers that they gave. They either said that's not planned at this time, or they said it's a game in development, ask us later.
Yes.
And so you could sort of tell when they had taken something off the table and when they were either working on something they weren't going to release or sort of thinking how they could make it happen.
And there was only
There was
one
an
thing
answer
that
difference.
put me, like, it gave me a problem, and that was the discussion of patch conics and the
Right.
binary planet.
Yeah, you to tell them about that.
So, one of the things is that.
Scott, I got you, dude. You can hold it up.
Yeah, okay.
Gotcha.
So, one of the things with the Steam page is it shows a binary planet, right, where you've got two planets roughly the same mass orbiting each other. And the great thing about that's awesome, right? I'd love to see that, but the problem is you cannot do patched conics because patched conics only works if you have a really well-defined hierarchy. If you have a heavier planet and a smaller planet where you can say that one area is very much driving the gravitational field over the other. And as soon as you have two bodies, then you have this weird problem with the barycenter, that is the gravitational center of mass in the system, is in the middle, and it's not attracting things. It's almost repulsing things. So when I asked about that, they were like, oh, yeah, we're not doing n-body. So we have a solution for that. And what's the solution? Oh, we can't say.
Yeah.
So I don't think they have a solution for that. I don't think they thought about this until now. And hey, that's okay. I spent 30 years thinking about this exact kind of problem, and it's totally normal to get stuck and have to figure out where you're going with it.
Because that was the binary planet thing. It's
That was
like,
the
how
binary
did you
planet.
solve the icing problem? And they're like,
Oh, well, yeah, they were all talking about
yeah.
Minmus, and they were all talking about it being ice lakes. So it's like, guys, by the way, we had this whole discussion with the devs, and it's salt or pudding. It's not ice. So that was one thing. Is they've gone off in their own direction, and that's cool for them. But that's my thing. Is that there's a few bits and pieces. Paul, they said, was derived from Io, and it's like, no, Paul is derived from a grain of pollen.
Yeah.
But I will say that they put up their version of Paul, and it was all colored kind of greenish yellow, and I was like, damn, that looks like a grain of pollen. And then they said, no, it's based on volcanoes.
And it's like sulfur? It's all sulfur. It's everything sulfur, and it's like, all right, but it's also pretty. Like,
Yeah, it's also further out and shouldn't be volcanic. It should be closer in than late if you want it to be volcanic.
Anything about matched asymptotics? Silent Searchlight is asking? Matched asymptotics? I don't know what that means.
That sounds like patch conics.
Yeah, he's like
I'm
the
just gonna rhyming slang. It's patch conics.
Yeah. So no mention of that.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Different fuel types, I'll grab that one right quick. They did say that there was a metallic hydrogen, there was a cesium. They talked about having to use water.
Well, did you actually have to get cesium, or
They just said that it was infused with cesium. So,
right, and so that it could work with a magnetic nozzle?
Yeah.
Right?
But they didn't say that there was going to be like methane or anything like
Yeah,
that.
I don't think we're gonna see like fully cryogenic stuff.
But it'd be nice to have hydrogen as a separate thing. Metallic and regular hydrogen. Because liquid hydrogen is so way the heck out there in terms of density compared to any other propellant mixture. Everything else is kind of roughly the same, but hydrogen is way out there. And it's also super cryogenic.
Anything about lava? Didn't say anything about lava.
I didn't see it.
They
Well,
showed the binary planets.
The binary planet, yeah. They
Looked like a
did
recent
have-
collision.
Yeah. And that's cool. I would love to. They actually talked about that in the dev video as well. Like, oh, this could be a recent system with rings and lava.
Right.
We didn't get any conversation about that.
Right.
But they're talking with their planetologist person.
But we did see ice, lots of ice.
Lots of ice.
Yeah.
And the ice. Yes.
The ice fields.
Yes. And I'm like, you need salt.
Yep.
Yeah, I
We
was
didn't have any more-
I was like, you need ice cream.
We didn't have any more information on will KSP2 offload the physics
I'm
to
gonna
the
say,
GPU. We didn't hear anything about
problems
that.
we did encounter was with the pronunciation of
Oh yeah,
the moon.
they were calling it Mun, and we're like, what?
And here's the thing. I think we're all in agreement it's pronounced moon,
Yeah.
right? It's umlaut. Yes.
Umlaut, yeah, that's the key. Umlaut.
Right. And here's, but I'm gonna say, to their credit, they claim that this pronunciation came from Squad.
The wrong people at Squad. Also, Pluto's a planet. So,
Also-
anyways,
Yes, it's a dwarf planet. I'll have you know, because it has not cleared its orbits in a 3-2 resonance.
neither does Neptune. I probably shouldn't argue this with Scott.
No, it's trapped in Neptune's resonance, right? Along with a whole bunch of other smaller bodies. That's why Pluto is a
Grandfathered
dwarf.
in.
Yeah.
Like, come on. There's a
Not
history there.
science.
I got it. Okay.
Science.
Here, you got it?
You can hold that for a while.
I'll scoot this way too, yeah.
Why don't we ask these guys for some? Because we're talking and these guys have things to say.
Yeah, I guess we're like the live stream crew down here,
I
right?
guess so. Like we talk about. We're going to be live streaming tomorrow. Apparently, on
kind of an
DOS will be
algorithm
doing it.
They're in the middle of their own conversation.
Maybe not.
Yeah, we do. So we do have.
Modding
We're
is
going to
important. We
Museum
need
of
to bring
Flight
well-known
tomorrow,
modders.
right? And we have permission to
So,
stream from
who's
inside the
out
Apollo
there
50th
who has-
anniversary thing.
who's very
So
well-known
I'm gonna
in the
go. I'm
modding
gonna be running the
community?
camera. EJ's gonna go. Scott's
I
gonna
will
go.
tell my poop stories, right?
Yeah.
That's a hit.
You're gonna want to hear that.
It's a hit with a silent S.
There will be a virtual field trip going on tomorrow. Spicing up dress. Yes, actually, dress was a specific thing.
Yes.
They didn't say what they were changing.
And they said, actually, they weren't sure whether Canyon was going to be there.
Yeah,
But they did note my request for having a proper Beggar's Canyon back home.
Yep.
Right?
Didn't they? Yeah, they did. And didn't they also say that the Mohole is still there?
Well, no. What I I saw
think
was
you
the
saw.
mole had antipodal points, which were made from a large crater, which is a real structure we actually see on the moon.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, the mole still exists in spirit.
In spirit.
And most of you probably have never played Kerbal Space Program with a giant mole mountain. Right?
Yep.
Do you guys know that?
No.
Right. So the mole, before it was a hole at the poles, there was a giant mountain, and it kind of looked like we called it Mount Goatsea. Because that's what it looked like.
Keep it classy.
Just look at my earliest videos on landing on Moho. The idea Moho was this, it had this tenuous atmosphere that would overheat your spaceship. And so you had to use super low levels of thrust. And everyone was like,
Don't Google that.
mountain looks like a big
Don't Google it. Don't Google it. Don't do it.
We did ask about caves.
on.
Move on.
Don't
Let's talk about something different. We're going to talk about caves. Okay.
Yes.
Wait.
Oh, wait.
Did somebody paste a link or something?
No, don't do that.
Don't paste the link. You don't want to do
No
that.
caves. They said there were no
This is as
caves.
classy as I can. I can hear.
Oh no. New Interstellar Quest and KSP2?
I'm gonna say I'm quite excited about this whole thing. I certainly might feel up to doing some more tutorials and also some selling. I'm trying to sell my newfound sci-fi science audience on the wonders of Kerbal Space Program.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll have some astronauts by then.
Yeah.
Someone has already been petitioning Scott for KSP2 videos.
Nice.
Myself.
And I am all up for it. I love Kerbal Space Program
We need some
in
updated
every sense of the
tutorials.
word. Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Why, Bandit? Why? No.
Are you posting McGoatsea?
No, just
No.
go away. Let's see here. Is career mode? We didn't really ask anything about career mode. And
Yeah.
so here's the thing. They made it clear that this is the beginning of this relationship. So this is the first time we got to hang out with this. They pretty strongly implied this wasn't going to be the last time that we hanged out with.
Yeah, that might be the last time they fly us up.
I don't know.
I think it's coincidental with it being revealed at Gamescom at PAX West, right?
Yep.
I hope they come to GDC because I would love to talk more with them as a game developer type person.
Yep.
Yes.
DOS didn't scare them off.
Yeah.
Silent Searchlight. We're sort of focusing on KSP2 here instead of getting into a Pluto discussion.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
KSP2 focus.
Yeah, listen, QB1Os, look them up.
A Kerbal character builder. That's an interesting idea.
Well, I mean, they do have different. They have different hairstyles and stuff, and their psychology is clearly interesting. We also saw like vomiting Kerbals.
Yeah. They blow chunks when they pass out.
Like there was an animation where the Kerbal
It's pretty awesome.
Quite get that far. It looked like they were holding it down.
They almost threw up and then passed out, and then when they woke up, I guess they swallowed it or something.
They also had a G-force animation to show that, like, as they were turning, they would turn. And the only comment that we had was that surely the pilots would lean into the turn, and everyone else would get pulled over by the turn.
Yep.
Right?
We didn't ask about audio improvements.
But they had
This show was the nicest room in there.
They had an audio.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they had a professional sound
explosions.
producer in there.
The fuel tank leaks. The flaming leaks on the side of the fuel tank.
So when the rocket exploded, it didn't just explode, but we actually saw leaks, like stuff streaming off as things before they exploded.
It looked like a tank took damage such that it didn't explode, but it actually started to leak fuel and vent fuel out the
Yeah,
side.
it looked like the COPV that was
It did.
liberated from the test.
Very
yesterday.
SpaceX sort of setup there.
So good, all points for that stuff.
Yeah.
They did sort of imply that the more fuel was in the tank, the bigger the explosion.
Yes. And the explosions are different in vacuum versus atmosphere. So the amount of fuel
I think the line I heard was every explosion is a snowflake.
is a snowflake, a unique and special snowflake.
There's a complete VFX overhaul to the game, guys.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
complete VFX, like all the explosions, everything is all different. It
No
looked,
impact damage or anything like that.
yeah, no rigid bodies or anything like
Yeah.
that.
The explosions were so large, it didn't look like the tank unzipped. It just looked like a big explosion. And there were some tanks that didn't really explode. They just started doing like fell apart and stuff like that. So they said it was based on the amount of fuel that was in the tank, whether or not you get an explosion or you just get like a separation or whatever you want to say. Every explosion is a snowflake. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a great, what's the word? Ideal, a great
Motivation. I'm forgetting. Oh, brain. Yeah. Somebody help me here, guys.
I don't know what you're trying to say.
Motivation. It's a great driver of innovation. Every explosion is a snowflake. Unique and different in its own way.
I have never streamed, and I expect
Yeah,
I
and
probably
Sig-
never will.
We did ask if tanks would ever crumple or deform, and currently there's no plans for tanks
Yeah,
to
no rigid
crumple like a
bodies.
can.
No rigid bodies.
Yeah.
No beam in Kerbal as much as we want that.
Yeah. The colonies, and I know I'm speed rounding some of this to try and get as many questions as possible. The colonies actually looked like they were on stilts, like they were on launch clamps almost, I guess.
Right. As if they're kind of like
But they
forcing everything onto the same level.
they did say that they're all physically simulated.
Right.
So they're simulated. So if you
Right.
build it out over a cliff, it'll fall over.
Yeah.
They made a big distinction about colonies in orbit versus colonies on planets.
Oh man, the orbital shipyard with the interstellar
It
ship.
wasn't clear how that would be so different. But
I mean, they showed a ship being deployed from the side of the colony, and they made the comment, you need special
very much a
rockets
writer.
to separate it from the
Like,
colony,
I write
and then the
really well,
interstellar ship actually
and
lit its main
coherently,
engine and
and I
started to
can
go off on its
yeah,
journey.
and inertial confinement
Writing
fusion
stuff is
system.
fun with writing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
They've
Not
actually
cool.
said they've actually
It's just
taught
not my
pretty neat.
thing.
local
Right.
guys who did orbital
and
fusion research on the
if I was
seepage
if you were put me in
system
front of a
at
camera, I would
University of Washington. So that's
I
cool.
write. That's what
Like
I do.
actual fusion stuff.
Cities or structures around Kerbin, we didn't see anything else around Kerbin.
Yeah, we
but
saw
we didn't
a
ask.
very cool space center, lots more launch pads, lots of launch towers, lots of stuff. Didn't see very much else. We saw some trees.
The trees and the rocks and the scatter are beautiful.
And they said the scatter was collidable, no?
Yeah, they said the scatter was
Yeah,
the
Dude.
big
some
part
of
of the scatter was supposed to be
Collidable scatter.
Collide with grass, but you'll collide with rocks.
Collidable scatter,
you can
guys.
crash into
Those
a tree.
trees that you see now, yeah, you can run into them.
Yeah, I told them if we have like an aircraft that crashes into a forest, I want the trees to be destructible, and they were like,
And I cannot stand the way that I
game and
sound.
development. Don't know if we can do
Game
it.
and development.
Yeah, game and development. Because I want like a crash swath where your plane just
I
crashes.
want to do the
forest.
Airbus thing, right, where it drives through the forest. Yeah.
How about IVAs? The IVAs were completely redone from what I saw.
Yeah. They had
Did
some
point
new
out that
ideas.
the IVA that's seen in the trailer is just a bunch of shuttle displays.
Yeah, his shuttle displays.
I process.
I mean, we got to see some cool animatics from the original trailer concept. It was interesting how close they were to the final.
How's that spelled?
Like how watchable the original
I
animatic.
don't know how it's spelled.
Several people asking about Kraken or Epstein Drive, things like that. What do we want to say about that? You have to
Don't
think
know.
about it. None of those things were designed into KSP.
Yeah.
And so my hope at least is that KSP2 will have its own Kraken, you know, and they just need to be discovered by people like EJ, people like us.
In its own way.
If it's in a
And so
video, it is
just,
by
you know,
definition
don't
not
expect to
instructional for
have
me.
the exact same things.
Give me
I kind of hope that Kraken
I
has its
understand.
own unique character that we can learn to love it.
Yeah.
Maybe we find it in a different world now.
Yeah, maybe so. Come up with a
Maybe we
different
find
name for
that
it.
KSP1 Kraken and KSP2 Kraken have actually met and they make a baby Kraken.
Please no. Please no.
Well, you can guarantee
I'm just
I won't
wondering
be
how
watching
that
it.
works. It presumably involves a lot of things bouncing around like crazy, right? Obviously. I think that's neat. Yeah. Hey, Rule 34.
Read through testing admin building for double dipping. No, we didn't talk about career mode or anything like that. Can you please make sure they reach out to the Red Panda? I mean, I'm sure that they'll, as they get going, like involve more and more people. So can I get them to talk to one specific person? I don't know, but I know that they're going to involve members of the community. So
Yeah, there
Yeah.
were definitely. I mean, this is the core community.
Yeah.
The struts of the community.
yeah, the struts of the community. Nice.
And I'm sure as things get closer, we will see more community interaction, a lot more people involved.
What about part failure?
We didn't
Yeah.
hear anything.
Yeah, nothing on part failure.
Although it was one of the options in their scripting.
What's that?
Like, in their script, there was like push part and destroy part. It was a fail part.
Yep. Will the original Easter eggs still exist? I bet you the Kermode system Easter eggs are still there. This is a guess.
Monoliths and stuff.
Yeah, monoliths and stuff, and I imagine there will be new, but we didn't ask that specifically. It's sort of the theme of the game, and I felt like they had a handle on what Kerbal is. You know?
They had definitely a good idea.
Give me
It
a
was one
20-page
because we did
detailed
talk about stuff
breakdown.
that was
I will
discussed
read it
with
and
by
probably
the
have it
original
mostly
devs
memorized by the time I
totally
read
not
it.
aware of.
Yep.
Like your Nova's plan for the Grand Quest, build the warp gates, and
Yep,
things
yep.
like that.
Well, Enroy said, does the VAB have the free camera movement? No, but I'm not sure about the free camera movement, but it's bigger.
Yeah,
It's bigger and it's way prettier.
And they were talking about not like building ships and components, so you can put down a part that's not attached to the main ship.
Yeah, you can build the first stage and the second stage individually.
Yeah.
And then you can finally stack them at the end.
Oh no, I understand.
Also,
I have written
there's
stuff like that
blueprint
myself.
mode.
Oh, blueprint mode
You
is
have
so cool.
you have
Indicator lights.
Orthographic projection.
you have orthographic views in the VAB, guys. Like it goes into an orthographic blueprint view, like on a CAD system.
It looked like a blueprint of the rocket.
Yeah.
To be able to
It's
put
gnarly.
indicator lights
Yeah.
on their stuff.
Oh
I
yeah.
need some guacamole.
Or
Or something. You're squished purple, depending upon. Yeah, that's what it was, right?
It's green. Sky, diagram.
Dude, you don't eat the mystery goo. That's not scientific.
The mystery goo.
What's wrong with you?
You just leaked the fact that the mystery goo is guacamole.
No, it's not. Oh, damn. My bad.
We weren't supposed to release that.
Oh, sorry. The devil's gonna kill us now.
Okay. So I'm finishing off with this.
Asking about science experiments, I did specifically ask if there was going to be some more variance to the results of science experiments, and then I said, oh, you're on Moho. If I take a temperature reading on the sun side of Moho versus the dark side of Moho, will the temperature be different? They were like, yeah, there'll be more reasons to run science. Not any more details.
I think there was some pushback against the current idea of different biomes in the launch site. As in,
like a
the
paragraph of
runway has a biome versus launch pad. I think they were like, that's silly, we shouldn't do that.
I tried to convince them that it was good because it incentivized people to visit the other facilities and see their work in detail. We'll see. We'll see.
I do it
We
because if I
obviously
don't
want
write
to
that down,
explore the
I
launch
know that when I come back and read it now, I'm gonna go, what the hell was I thinking?
I don't know. I kind of like the science.
I just say that we should really have more things to fly under or fly through. Or
I agree
fly
with that.
around very quickly.
Yeah.
Correct.
Bankers Canyon back home needs to happen.
Gotta
Yeah.
bullseye some wop rants.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a staunch supporter for the KSC biomes staying in there to some extent. If you don't like them, don't go there and get the science. Don't ruin my fun.
Please do one science. And
Sorry,
the
D-Magic.
You get the DOS achievement for deducting science. We never asked about achievements.
We didn't ask about it.
Was it console achievements and trophies were crap. I'm gonna say it right now, they were crap. We had I submitted like a whole list. The more interesting was like, fly by the tower at Mach 1 and things like that.
You don't have to write science results for all those things. I'd be happy to.
Rocket,
I can make up stuff.
Rocket Man 1234 asked,
Hey, Rocket Man.
are there more plane parts?
Oh, we didn't see
any planes.
Yeah.
One of the things I enjoy about
There was some suggestion that procedural wings would be highly desirable. That was sort of not on any of the meeting renders, but it was definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't know about custom supports for colonies. They did say that you would build your colony out, like you would actually connect the pieces together, but they didn't say anything about do you have to make sure it's structurally sound and that sort of stuff. We didn't ask about that.
With the pad stuff, they added
You make
it.
a wing whatever
Like
size
you
you want.
take a string and you can stretch it or whatever.
So, what about the
Terrible experience.
what about the launch tower? The launch tower is on that crawler transport and it
They had a
moves.
crawler transporter. Yeah, I don't think you can drive it around.
No, I think what it does is when you spawn the rocket, it appears at exactly the right distance so your rocket doesn't go through the launch tower.
That's why it's on the crawler. So if you build a rocket that's too big for the pad, it'll back off.
I don't think it's going to crawl. They said that it wasn't part of like a launch cinematic or anything. And they also had a full-on tower that looked a lot like 39A. It had a single catenary on top, like
They
a
said
catenary.
that the arms are not animated.
Right.
But you can walk on it.
Yeah,
You can walk on it. And you can walk on the ML as well.
Here's the QA idea that we would test every single stairway and
I told him.
him.
I turned around and I looked at the person who introduced themselves as a QA, and I was like, you know we're gonna walk
test
on everything. You better test this before it gets to me. I'm watching.
Let it be known.
I'm watching.
And then the guy went, okay.
We know where you work.
I didn't talk about boil off or anything like that. Procedural universe outside of the galaxy. I don't think it was procedural. There are other star systems.
Yes, but it does seem that if the modding system works as suggested, it should be very easy to design and modify and create planets.
Yeah. We didn't ask about dual panel solar axis rotation. I did ask if the parts that automatically turn themselves, can we lock those down, please? And they're like, oh, that would be useful. That's easy. And I was like, yes, that would be useful.
It would be pretty.
Yeah. So we asked some things like that, but we didn't ask about
Repo says that's spot
biaxial
on.
solar panels or anything.
That makes no sense. Why would you do that?
Why would you lock it?
Why would you have biaxial solar panels?
So it always points at the sun, but
There's surface solar panels.
I don't know.
How
Yeah.
many satellites have biaxial solar panels?
I've never heard of that.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Name one.
Yeah, I don't know.
Surface mount or panels that attract the sun.
All the way around, yeah. Hey, here you go. Can we build taller rockets? They did say that the VAB was going to be much larger
Twice-
than the current
twice the
VAB.
size, they
Twice
said.
the size.
The
Yeah.
size.
Yeah.
We can build a Saturn 6.
Yep.
Nova.
Saturn 10.
Nova?
Nova
when?
Nova was Saturn 8, so
Yeah, we didn't ask anything about wheels, but they did. We do know that they're going to the latest version of Unity or whatever.
Right, I mean,
And they're
I
making
don't,
improvements or whatever.
yeah, no guarantees that they can
Yeah,
model the wheel physics we saw in the trailer, which probably no.
Yeah. Kerbal is still, and I know I'm answering some things twice because new people come in, but
Oh wow, went down to like low battery.
low
now.
battery, 20% of the stream is remaining. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go home soon because we're running out of
Do you
power.
have a charger or anything, or?
Don't worry.
Oh, okay.
No, I think this is the natural death of the stream.
The natural.
20% power, which is forever.
There are some new landing legs, but I don't know about redesigned landing legs. So it's too early to say anything about our landing legs fixed.
Yeah.
Our wheels fixed.
Guys, in terms of like implemented game features, there's not much. They're redoing like I said, the ground floor right now. So
Yeah.
the scatterer, the planet,
they
stuff like that.
showed was basically Kerbal Space Program 1
Yeah.
with a lot of mods.
Yeah.
There wasn't-
Yeah.
We never saw any like science mechanics.
No career mode.
What we
Right,
saw was
right.
a physics system with some new engines.
But I did throw in a question about like science modes, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we should do that." You know, like
Well, that's the thing is like what you saw is like the base, the foundation.
That's
of the
exactly,
game.
it's-
Right,
and
well-
they can add on things related to gameplay as they
I
want.
think we all made it clear to them, by the way. Spring 2020 is as long as you need it to be.
yep,
As long
yep,
as you need it to be.
absolutely.
Nice. Yeah, I think so. We all good, guys?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
No, this is the same parts. There were some like classic parts, and there were some new parts, right? So intentionally, they had some KSP classic parts included, and then there were new parts as well, like spherical fuel tanks and new structural parts and all that sort of stuff. So it's going to be like a combination of old and new parts.
They clearly want people who got used to KSP1 to feel at home.
The building interface actually
So
was.
they've got all. It sounds like they've got pretty much all of the original KSP1 parts, reimagined with new models and things, so that they're now freaking gorgeous. But they were showing us like here's what the Nerve looks like now, and here's what the Reliant looks like, and here's the Swivel, and here's the Terriers.
Yeah, a lot of the same parts in the game.
We modeled the Poodle and then basically admitted that the squad had changed Poodles.
Well,
Made a better
when
poodle.
did they redo the poodle?
They've been working on it for a while.
They did the poodle a long time ago.
Yeah.
So I think it just shows you how long they've been developing this game for the fact that they are actually behind the real version because they forked it essentially.
Yeah.
But they've really
They
forked
forked it.
the
Like they took a
assets.
copy of the models. The part
At the
models.
very least,
Isn't the really say it?
No, they
What's
didn't.
the saying?
They didn't. They did detail pass on the models, guys. They redid them from the ground up, made them a little bit more high res and put them in the game. They're the same. It's the same parts and most. It seems.
we don't know about numbers in terms of
Yeah.
performance or anything, but I expect that they'll be representative of the existing systems.
Yeah. I mean, they said all the same engines were in the game. Like, so the Swivel is there, the Reliant is there.
Right.
Like it's like yeah, the Terrier. They're all there. Like what Snark was saying. So they're all there. So I would expect relative same performance because it's the same solar system.
If you guys were mentioning, then you mentioned that when they showed those trailers that everyone has seen, they said everything you see in that trailer is a game asset.
Right. Yeah, that was important. Every single spacecraft model in that trailer is an asset that is in ASP2, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's right. The ISS has 2-axis solar panels. The entire bars can rotate, and the solar panels can rotate independently. The ISS has 2-axis.
right, okay.
All right.
2-axis, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
But they're not two-sided, so that's what
Yeah. Gotcha. That's almost like the solar panels rotate, and then the truss that they're on rotates as well. So, is it 2-axis? Yeah. Better smoke trails. I said that I wanted. I wanted SRBs to continue to smoke or have some amount of thrust after they're done with their main thrust. We talked about that. We gave them like an education on how SRBs work.
Yeah, we may or may not have gone and had a little. Yeah.
And most people don't.
Oh, you should do it like this one.
Yeah, I love you guys.
We talked about thrust pull-up and stuff. Jeff Muir, hey, we were in a restaurant. We were eating our dinner and we turned on the phone. If you think the stream looks bad, oh my gosh, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. This is not, if you complain the stream is bad, that's cool because I don't really care about Twitch. I mean, I love Twitch, but I'm like I do Twitch because it is, I love Twitch. But I'm not really pushing the high production values here.
The stream quality's not good enough. Turn off the stream. Sorry, we can't.
No, not in the budget.
Really?
This guy is a stream expert and he's not using his hardware right now.
Yeah. We're on Scott's phone right now.
Yeah, he's got the Samsung, it doesn't do the Twitch. Right? I get the iPhone, it does.
Oh my god.
I expect perfection.
In capital letters.
Yeah, the live view is at the hotel right now. We'll be using that tomorrow.
Make sure they get the
Yeah, make sure you charge it.
Yeah, it's been on the charge view since last night. So
It's just sucking that power
Is that EJ? Yes, that is EJ. Hello.
That is that's not EJ. That's not EJ.
That's not me.
How's it going?
Look.
moist and pure.
With the worm logo on his
Those are the only three I've been paying attention to. The rest of them I'm like,
That's right.
those are
We didn't really ask. We didn't get into a lot of specifics about space colonies. Like they said, you had to deliver things.
There's a mod that has, it's like some...
And you had to deploy things and build a colony. And there are some things that can increase the output of the colony, like when you accomplish
What we
something.
did say actually was
still acrobatic.
when big
I don't even remember.
When Kerbal celebrates.
It's not, I don't think it have to be up to date anytime soon.
Like asexual flooding with you or something. I don't know.
They go through mitosis. That I just brings up a, is this like a parthenogenesis or anything where you could maybe have
economies or something like that. That would be crazy. It's fun. That would be crazy.
I think they.
What else are they doing this?
I think they specifically mentioned that they didn't want to do Sim City in space.
Yeah, they didn't want it to be.
Yeah.
They wanted it to be about designing and flying rockets.
Yeah.
That's what the game is about.
So that's an important point to avoid the speculation.
Yeah, they're not making Sim Galaxy.
Right. Yeah, because Sim Earth really works well.
Here, I'm gonna pass it back to you.
Okay. Cool. I'm definitely running low on power. I will have to terminate this stream very soon. Otherwise, I may not be able to call an Uber to get home. Right? Just kidding. I'll be fine.
What?
Oh, I'm fine. I can
We're
walk.
an 8-minute walk from the hotel.
Yeah, I've noticed there's a Barnes and Noble. I might go and buy some model spaceships there. I've heard that they're selling off all the X-wing models.
So, well, if we're gonna wrap it up, where are we going? Where are we going tomorrow? Maybe we should.
We're gonna be at Museum of Flight.
All right,
Joss
I got the
gonna do this.
information. All right, so
Joss
tomorrow.
is the dude.
Tomorrow we've got permission. We got film permission at the Museum of Flight, and for the first time ever, we have permission to film and stream from the inside of the full fuselage shuttle trainer.
Oh my god!
Inside of it.
Fuselage
So we'll
shuttle trainer.
Inside. EJ's gonna be out there having a coronary. I'm gonna be there running the camera. Scott's gonna be there. Yeah.
For
How
those
do you know more than me?
For those who don't know, what is the shuttle trainer?
Then what's the shuttle trainer?
It's the full fidelity.
Inside?
Full size. Full
fidelity.
Right. You want to make it sexy? You say it's the cockpit. Like every single
Wait, is the battery dead yet? Keep going.
Flight deck. It's the full-size trainer that they used for the missions, guys. It has a fully working flight deck, fully working mid deck, fully working everything.
Cargo bay,
cockpit,
airlock.
flight deck.
Yeah.
Cargo bay,
Flight deck.
This
Flight
is
deck.
a really big deal.
flight deck. This is a big one.
You're gonna want to watch.
We've got that tomorrow morning, starting around 9:30 a.m. PST or DDT.
PDT.
We PDT right now, right? So 9:30 a.m. our local time tomorrow. We'll be at the Museum of Flight.
12:30 p.m. Eastern.
12:30 Eastern. Yeah. I think we're gonna start on my channel and we may switch it up over the course of the day or something like that. But it'll be EJ, me, Scott. We'll have the live view,
I'll
the
probably
nice
have a
cameras
host
and
suit
everything.
and all that if I can figure that out.
It's gonna be good.
Tomorrow's gonna be a good day.
We
Today was a
also
good day.
wait. Time out. This is super important, and I'm proud of it. The Museum of Flight has given us permission to stream from the inside of the Apollo 50th exhibit as well. They haven't let any other film crews in except for local news, and they're letting us do a live stream from the Columbia Command Module, not inside of it, but from the exhibit with the Columbia Command Module, the F1 engines, Jeff Bezos recovered engines from Apollo 11 and Apollo 12, Buzz Aldrin's spacesuit and stuff like that.
Buzz Aldrin's pen that he saved Apollo
Yes.
11 with.
Yes.
Guys, seriously.
Yes. We're
Seriously,
doing that
though.
tomorrow morning. So be
Like-
looking out, I guess, on my channel to start, and we'll come over there, maybe switch it over or something like that.
Okay.
So we
How
can
about we
switch
do
it
the Apollo
around.
part on yours and the
Shuttle trainer? Hey, that
shuttle
sounds
part
good to
of
me,
it.
actually.
Shuttle part of
That
it.
actually
Why-
sounds like
I
a
don't
good
understand.
EJ,
Why
do you
would
like
we do that?
planes
or something?
That sounds like a good plan.
I've been
Dude,
known to
let's do
plane
it. That
from
makes
time
perfect
to
sense,
time.
actually.
Yeah, alright, that's fine.
That makes perfect sense. dude.
Airplanes.
Heck yeah. So we actually have permission to be at the museum all day long, filming from all the different areas of the museum. The World War I, World War II planes, the aircraft collection outside, the Apollo exhibit. We can go inside the Red Barn, the original Boeing factory. We have the Grand Gallery, like basically run of the museum tomorrow all day long. So
Concorde.
the Concords, we go inside a Concorde, inside the 787, inside basically everything. But all day tomorrow, we are going to be all over the map at Museum of Flight.
Yeah, and I'm basically a guest that's going to be nerding out. And
Yeah.
These guys are the pros that know how to do the live stream, so I'm going
That's
to try and
gonna be,
restrain myself.
It's going to be cool.
Yeah.
But you're the pro when it comes to aerodynamics.
Yes, I know all about efficient hairstyles, for sure.
Aerodynamics.
And there will be a VOD and stuff like that. It'll be like a Vectors sort of virtual field trip. Vectors helped us set up some of the film rights and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So on EJ's channel and my channel, it is a Vectors virtual field trip.
Yeah, I will make a VOD of this, by the way, but
Oh, yeah.
holy crap. If anyone wants to watch it, yeah.
Well, the
Yeah.
quality on this stream is.
I don't know.
It is the
Maybe
badness.
we should just delete it. Maybe we should just stop the stream and delete this VOD right
Yeah,
quick.
make it
This is not
unique.
good.
Make it special. Seriously, guys, I'm really excited for tomorrow.
It's gonna be.
And Friday. We have
And
a
Friday, we have
practice
the
thing.
panel on Friday as well.
Yep.
So we were working on, I don't know the
Can I
signal
talk about my
environment.
movie consulting?
Well, sure, yeah. Why not?
Yeah,
Wait,
I
can
don't
you?
know.
I don't know. Can you?
I don't know. I'll have to check with
you
Mr.
allowed?
Guitar Man to see
Yeah.
if I can talk about his
Don't
movie.
ask me. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, he might. I think it's an interesting comment about physics in popular media and games and
Cool.
stuff. Yeah.
Hey,
Might. Yeah.
you're literally
Yeah.
working.
EJ is just like shaking his head now.
Oh no.
I don't know what any of that means.
Udvar Hazy later this year. We just got to come up with a date. We've already done our
Yeah.
tech checks for Udvar Hazy.
And that's without me because I. Yeah.
Maybe. I mean,
You can't come out to the East Coast. You can't come.
My
out to the
daughter
East
went
Coast.
out there, and I was so jealous. I gotta go one of these days.
Space Shuttle Discovery, man. Come on.
Oh God.
Okay, I got a plan. We go to the Antares launch with you,
Yes.
and then we go to Udvar Hazy.
It is
Where?
right there.
Seriously.
October 21st is the current schedule.
No,
for
I
it.
get shit booked.
You have nothing to do. No, you have nothing to do except see
I
a
have
launch.
nothing
no
to do.
vacation. I used up all my vacation time for this. And now I have a wedding anniversary to do as well. So, yeah.
Married to rockets.
I'm married
Actually,
to.
no. I actually married a chemist.
I'm married to a real heavenly body. There, that's how I win this one.
Very nice.
Somebody make a clip of that when he needs permission to go on a trip.
Link it.
No,
I think-
I will definitely. I gotta get out to the East Coast for sure.
Yeah.
I gotta get to Alabama, to the rugged parts of Florida. There's so many things.
All the things. All
Do
the
all
East
the
Coast
things.
I mean, when we were there last time, they brought us up to 37B. You know.
Oh yeah.
And 41.
You probably wouldn't want to do that, though.
Oh yeah.
No, I don't think.
Yeah, 37 is like not a
You want
like
to go up on
great.
structure somewhere? Like you want to go up on 41 or 37 or? I mean, does that sound good or boring?
I'm so jealous. I'm wounded.
Walked on the mobile launcher.
You guys with your like lack of day jobs, and steady income.
This is my job.
Yeah, steady income.
It's been
Benefits.
steady-ish.
Benefits.
Steady enough.
Hey, Apple discount.
The Apple discount. Okay.
I love my benefits and discount.
Anyways,
Anyways,
pretty
yeah.
much done for now.
I think we have to say goodnight, right? So everyone, hey everyone, say goodnight. Shadows on, Joshua, for what? Pass it around.
Yeah, everybody.
Bye. Yes.
All right, y'all. We're gonna get out of here.
We're gonna get out of here. So
Yeah.
we're gonna do this.
Yeah.
And we're gonna do this.
Later, nerds.
Later. High five. Farewell.